evolving with the story, it's sort of the next step. It's the next chapter in the story of Jigsaw because he is now officially dead, and so these are the things that happen afterwards. With 4, it was happening in parallel, and so which was the reveal, of course. But in 5, it's pretty much established Jigsaw is dead, and we're moving on. And so, how is Hoffman going to carry on the legacy of Jigsaw in terms of what John Kramer wanted and what his overall goal was? We pitched the ideas for 4, 5, and 6 with an overall arc of where it's going to end up, and we have pretty much followed that throughout. And so we do have a clear idea of what the end game is at the end of 6, and so in knowing that and moving forward and having the producers and the actors and directors embrace that, we do know where we're going. No one knows the character of John Kramer more than Tobin Bell. He is John Kramer. He lives and breathes it. He knows what John Kramer was doing when he grew up in his favorite cereal. So he knows when something doesn't strike right, and we trust him enough that he is going to take it where it needs to be. And so that is a benefit of just having this continuation of crew and cast that you don't have in a lot of movies. Very few people know what the end will be. Of course, Mark and Oren, the producers, and Peter Block and Jason Constantine know, and the director knows, but that's about it. We don't tell the actors don't have a clue. They get, I think the script was about, let's say, 100 pages. They get 85 pages, 80 pages, and as does the crew. They don't know where it's going to end. And even on 5, we actually shot several different versions of what the ending could be, the final twist, because there's several twists, but the final twist, we shot several different versions. And the point of that is just to keep people guessing, and in this information age where it's so easy to access scripts and there's so many leaks online, you sort of have to do that, I think.
Saw 4 ends with Scott Patterson finding the dead Tobin, the dead Shawnee, the dead Bahar. Hoffman walks up to the room, slams the door, locks it, and walks away. So the questions that we answer here is, does Scott Patterson get out? Does he survive? Detective Hoffman, where's he go? We now know that he's been working with Jigsaw. And does he get caught? When Tobin gets into his character, he'll start writing on the walls. Tobin will have a book of what his character was thinking for the last month. And you think it's all kind of kooky, but hey, whatever it takes for his performance, for him to give you, as an audience, his performance, because he's nothing at all like that in real life. In real life, I see him coaching his son's baseball team, and then he comes out and he's this monster. He takes on a complete different persona. Scott Patterson is great, coming off of years of the Gilmore Girls. Just an underrated actor. I guess he didn't have that much to do on that show as the same character, but here, man, he goes through, from beginning to end in this movie, he's just beaten up, beaten down, sideways. He had a very, very difficult shoot, but did an amazing job. Saw 2, 3, and 4 was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. And Darren's great. He's a kid. He's really young. And it's just this frenetic energy. Wherever you go, he just attracts problems. And it's just Darren. He's loud. He's just full of energy. He's just doing 14 different things at the same time. I get tired just talking to him. And then in comes David Hackle, who's been our production designer for the last 4 movies, who's great, calm. And he kind of comes in, sits down, is very quiet. We talk about stuff. And it works. They're just completely different people, completely different styles. But the movies look and feel the same. The traps in this movie are as gruesome, if not more gruesome, than any of the traps in any of the Saw movies. I've seen the first 2 cut together already. And literally, having been there, seen them shot, thought of them, worked with the writers. I still, when you see them edited, and Kevin Greutert, our editor, puts the music into it and the sound effects, I'm like, oh, that's gross. Oh, nasty. It is just, it's spooky. I have a hard time watching our traps in this movie. The Saw franchise has grown by leaps and bounds from Saw 1. Now we're shooting Saw 5. The budget is 10 times that of Saw 1. But we have the same crew, the same people for the most part. It's great. It's one big family. It's like everybody gets together 2-3 months out of the year, 4 months, and you know you're going to see the same people again and again and again. And, you know, it's to me, it's fun. It's exciting. We got really, really lucky.
You know, the great thing about the Saw movies is we can kind of make moves. It's kind of like an octopus. You can kind of go one direction, then you go forward, you could fill in, because one of the things for the fans is they love knowing what really happened. And so one thing we've done is kind of one step forward or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And it's kind of filling in information of how, you know, Saw 4 I think was great at the learning kind of the genesis, how Jigsaw started and how he became Jigsaw. And it was really fun for us. And in Saw 5, we've done some things that the fans are going to go crazy, and it's really the kind of the next step of who people are and how they got to where they are. Obviously, Tobin's becoming a little more of a mythical character and with that voice, but the thing we've done is we've really been very, very careful in, you know, people realize he's dead and not using him too much, but using him more in our backstory and filling in of how all this came to place. And I think we did a great job with that in 4, and we continue that in 5. David Hackler knew he was going to direct 5 for probably a movie or 2. So as a production designer, as the person who designed the traps for Saw 2, Saw 3, and Saw 4, the one thing I can guarantee is he kept a couple good ones for himself. We're taking the story farther forward now. You know, I think that 3 and 4 kind of did a lot of filling in and didn't really move a ton forward. This one's a big leap forward as far as story and still getting the usual thrills and spills.